Highballers on fiddle, playing one of the tunes that we're going to be playing tomorrow at 9 o'clock at the Bijou as part of the Lincoln show. Are you guys ready?
Oh yeah, we're just creating a microphone here.
We're in microphone, man.
Well, in the meantime, while we're waiting to set up, my name is Edward Crouse, and I wrote Come Mr. Lincoln. It's a series of vignettes about mainly Lincoln and his relationship to sexuality, which has begun to be a topic that's explored recently. People like Larry Kramer and a guy who's studied with Alfred Kinsey, C.A. Tripp, Mr. Tripp wrote a book called The Intimate World of Abraham Lincoln that explores this topic that, among other things, just received endorsements by Gore Vidal, who calls its conclusions irrefutable. So as a lead into that, we're going to have a very sexy tune from Gary Trent.
Edward Crouse, you wrote this song about, didn't you?
No, I wrote 4 bits that are going to play in between them, but it's a very rich show. It has musical performances, and it has also 16mm film material that was done by me.
This is a series I've been putting on for a number of, since the beginning of the year. Done a couple shows on several different themes. Sort of a expanded cinema variety show, always including film, short film, on film.
Right.
My background is in film and film programming. I worked at the Chicago Underground Film Festival for several years. So I was just looking for a way to expand it out and make it more than just a single screening.
And a little lascivious, I understand.
Yeah, this one is. The ones previous in the series have not been, but this one is at the Bijou Theater.
How could you help it with Lincoln? I mean,
Yeah.
the first thought, I think, now that I've read this material, when I think of Lincoln, I think in terms of what the author says is his sexiness, sex-mindedness, a naughtiness at the very edge of respectability. I mean,
Yeah, sure, that's what I always think of.
We're generating
Yeah. This one came about, all the shows have come about in different ways, but this one came about because Mr. Crouse had a script that was sitting around for several years that he'd shown me and showed several other people about an imagined tryst between Abraham Lincoln and Josh Speed that was very well written, very much enjoyed the script, so I decided to base this around Mr. Krause's writing.
So, bisexuality or straight ahead?
I think historians actually just, this book is actually sort of, there are these, what I call asbestos chapters by other historians, that kind of clarify, and they say, well, I don't entirely agree with some of Tripp's conclusions, but according to Tripp, he was a Kinsey 5, which means predominantly homosexual, and incidentally heterosexual. Obviously, he had to be heterosexual in order to produce 2 children.
Yeah, you don't have to be.
But it helps.
That's been proven. Well,
Thinking of Abraham Lincoln and his sexual preferences, isn't the Bijou Theater, wasn't that a sport theater?
It is an adult
Still an
movie
adult
theater.
theater.
Yes, still an adult movie theater. It's been around since I want to say 70 or
So you
71.
picked the right place to have it.
Yes, exactly. My good friend Julia is the head of tech there, and I just knew that I just wanted to do a film show there. I just wanted to bring in film projectors and do a show at one of the last holdouts of
adult entertainment.
sleaze in Old
And
Town.
at least they don't call it a flippin' gentleman's club,
No.
thank God. Josh,
No, the
that's
men are men, they're not gentlemen, they're man's men. Yeah,
There you
they're
go.
Stout-hearted men.
stout-hearted
Where
men.
do you guys come from and how did you get together?
Keep it clean.
Okay. I'm from South Carolina. I moved here about 7 years ago to work for the Chicago History Museum, where,
Escape.
yeah.
Highly sexy institution.
Yeah, my
It is.
And Lincoln looms large, obviously. Every day they walk past.
So to speak.
Yes.
As my memory of South Carolina is I went to a barbecue there and I picked up a pamphlet called Honest Abe Wasn't Honest.
Well,
And they still fly the flag above the...
Okay, 1, 2, 3, everybody talk at once.
Okay, I'm gonna say, I imagine Abe isn't too popular in South Carolina.
no, not at all. The war itself, I actually previously worked at the South Carolina State Archives and have held the Confederate Order of Secession in my hands. So I came from the South Carolina State Archive to work for the Chicago History Museum, where I
What a
was
wonderful span,
Lincoln's
Josh.
deathbed every day on my way to the office. So it was, after reading Krause's script, I knew I had to center a show around it. Also, really interestingly, we've got Mr. Mayor and the Highballers. Trent and Terry are from there, and they learned several
That's
Civil
the
War.
musicians you just
Yeah, the
heard,
musicians you just heard.
and will again.
They learned several Civil War era songs that they'll be performing throughout the night and providing accompaniments to the script reading. And then there are 2 fantastic found footage filmmakers who I commissioned 2 short films from there. I bought a bunch of educational films on 16mm on the subject of Abraham Lincoln and gave them the materials to make 2 brand new short films that will premiere at the Bijou on Sunday.
Continuing in a long tradition of multimedia, avant-garde
Performance.
stuff in Chicago. So that's great. I'm glad you guys are keeping busy because God knows what you do with free time.
Is there anything sort of serious in this? I mean, do we address slavery? Do we address, is
It
John
doesn't
Brown
sound
play
like
a
it.
part in any way? John Brown's body lies a woman in the
I
grave.
don't know how much seriousness there will be. This will be, I'll be reading some of his poetry throughout the night.
There is documentary material. I mean, some of it's integrated in the script.
Do you want to give us a little?
And one of them is a joke that Lincoln actually wrote that, and this is real. I edited it slightly, but just for expository sake. I didn't make it raunchier. So one day Lincoln stayed up all night. Lincoln stayed up one time, and in the morning he ran into court. He bounded into court in the words of his first biographer, William Herndon, and he handed the bailiff this joke that he spent all night working. And it goes like this. This is the words. This is what Abe Lincoln said. He was riding backwards on an ass jack through a pot and cash on a pair of battle sags when the animal skewered at a stump, rode him in the corner of a tent, and broke his fishing pole. He said he would not have minded it much, but he fell right into a great cow curd. In fact, it gave him a right smart sick of fitness. He rushed into his house, found his wife standing open, but thank goodness she is getting right hat and farty again. The words of Abraham Lincoln.
There's a lot of those materials that will come up throughout the night. Lincoln had a raunchy sense of humor. He wrote several poems on the subject of romance, including one about 2 boys getting married and the possibility of pregnancy from
Homosexual intercourse.
Yes.
Okay. I guess that's yet to be seen.
I didn't read that part, yeah.
You want to read that?
Yes, this is,
Okay.
this is the passage that was called obscene, infamous, salacious, and simply outrageous, but it was often excised from biographies of Lincoln. And this is the end of his 16-line poem from the Chronicles of Reuben, which he wrote. It's too long of a story, but anyway, it's the last. So here we go. Reuben and Charles had married 2 girlies, but Billy has married a boy. The girlies he tried on every side, but none he could get to agree. All was in vain, he went home again, and since then he is married to Nady, and this is the end of it. And Mama's well pleased at the match between Billy and Nady. The egg is laid, but Nady's afraid the shell is so soft it never will hatch. Your suitor you can never be, besides your low crotch proclaims you a botch, and never can answer for me. Now, the past tense it says, the egg is laid, but Nady's afraid. The shell is so soft it never will hatch suggests, quote, Abe was well aware of the term jelly baby. Originally from Negro vernacular, the phrase soon came to be used by whites as well, slang denoting what uneducated folk imagine, and sometimes still imagine to be a pregnancy from homosexual intercourse. So if you take nothing else from this, take away jelly babies.
Jelly babies, it sounds like a little treat.
How about another song?
Oh, right. Before we bring up the song, just so the show is at the Bijou Theater, which is on Wells Street, Old Town. This Sunday at 9 p.m. And if you want to purchase tickets ahead of time, it's thelincolnshow.brownpapertickets.com. But you can also purchase them at the door again Sunday at the Bijou at 9 p.m. And we'll bring up Trent Childers and Carrie Chernetsky one more time.
Hey, thanks, Heartland. I got mic this time, look out. This is an original, so it's gonna get crazy. Look out. We're going that crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4. I went to see some Dr. Faster, and he said we're all dying. You're dying faster. I said that's crazy. He said exactly. I said I can't be dying 'cause nobody ever asked me. It's very simple. It's very simple. Count your blessings. Don't expect more than this. It's very simple. It's very simple. Count your blessings. Don't expect more than this. Let's hear that fiddle. I got this friend, oh, give her the banjo. She said, when you go, can I have your banjo? I need a new friend. I need a boyfriend. I need a big beautiful dead woman. It's very simple. It's very simple. Count your blessings. Don't expect more than this. It's very simple. It's very simple. Count your blessings. Don't expect more than this. Let the more fiddle there, Mr. Trent. I went to see some Dr. Crouse, and he said we're all dying. You're not living faster. I need a new bed. I need a clean bed. I need a good miracle and a warm friend. It's very simple. It's very simple. Count your blessings. Don't expect more than this. It's very simple. It's very simple. Count your chickens. Don't expect more than this. It's very simple. It's very simple. Count your money. Don't expect more than this. It's very simple. It's very simple. Count your blessings. Don't expect more
You guys are skilled. Are you guys, Mr. Mayor, and the Highballers?
Two of them.
You're two of them. And how many more of you are there?
There are 5 more of us.
Thank God you didn't bring them all tonight. Look at this set.
Let me ask both Edward and JB, what you guys do when you're not putting on this one-night-only show, the Lincoln Show, tomorrow night?
Well, I'm a librarian. I work in the south suburbs of the
Perfect.
public library. Also, I do a lot of this kind of thing, putting on these kind of shows, and I also work with the Chicago Underground Film Festival. Yeah, so that's what I do on my day-to-day.
How about yourself, Edward?
I work in an office. I'm what the Japanese would call a salary man. I work for a medical journal as an editor. I'm not going to name the journal in association with Mr. Lincoln, but it's in Chicago, in the Loop. And I occasionally write film criticism, and that's how I know from him. I've been published in Time Out Chicago and Film Comment and Village Voice and places like that.
Well, tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, the Lincoln Show, brownpapertickets.com, Bijou Theater down in Old Town, correctly adult starting time of 9 p.m. And thanks for reaching out to us and stay in touch with Live from Heartland.
Next week, we are going to have an old friend of ours, Bob Lawson, who has been real active in the labor movement for many years. He's been down in Brazil, he's down in Mississippi. He knows what's going on. He's going to share a lot of information about the United Auto Workers, about Walmart, and about fast food protests that are going on. And we will have one of our favorite storytellers.
A good friend of ours, Sue O'Halloran, will be telling us about her groundbreaking storytelling festival online. And I think that we should really give Grant a big thanks today for figuring out how to...
Grant Sesco, one of our wonderful engineers.
Yeah. And we want to thank everybody who makes this show possible. Paul and Mary, Rocio.
And we have Jay Miller downtown today. We want to thank him. We want to thank Hal, who came over and set up a camera. And we want to thank everybody who has always helped out. And we want to thank all our listeners. And we especially want to thank the Heartland Cafe for underwriting the show and making it possible. And thanks for having it here. So we encourage you all to do good in the world, because the world needs all the good you do. So all power to the people. We'll see you next week here on the left end of the dial. Michael and Katie, over and out.
Ha ha ha.